I want to mention that last 3 weeks we had a conference called Mighty Men, and as we were preparing for that conference, my wife insisted that the things I've been preaching on, battles at the gates, for many years, has to be given to the men as a book, as a manual, to go back and prepare themselves to man their gates. And Enugu is a gate. And so I have the book Battles at the Gates, and I have another one, The Horsemen. December last year, I was asking the Lord, what is this year going to be like? And what is this decade going to be like? This is a new decade, 2021 to 2030, 10 years, the decade. He said the first 3 years going to be years of the horsemen. The horsemen are skilled, bold, courageous, fearless. He said the footmen won't go far. And you and I will understand that there will be global challenges. From where I am, it can be very overwhelming, because the rich of the world have brought their money. People like Bill Gates, who owns Microsoft and other things, and Soros, who owns the biggest internet marketing in the world, and many others. 5 of the richest people in the world came together to use their money to finance satanic activities against the church. And I cried out in Florida. I said, God, where are your rich people? What are they keeping their money for? Look, if one's house is on fire and the bank's on fire, you'll be running for your life, not for money. But you can stop that evil fire by financing God's project. They hijacked the media, the print media, the social media, the televisions, the radio stations. If you say anything strongly, prophetically, so godly, Facebook will bring you down. Say you are controversial. You come out openly, CNN will pick you up. They've done that to another daughter, and incidentally I was with her physically when they were doing that. The more they try to bring her down, and I wake her up in the morning, I said, baby, you are shaking the waters. She said, Daddy, this thing is too much. I said, we were praying for it. Come on. And so I began to pick her phone calls. I said, then don't answer phone calls if you are going crazy. My wife and I, we answered anybody who needed to be answered, and we fought anybody who wanted a fight. And we brought her on when there was need, and he hid her when we needed to. There's a global fight going on, and it's fierce. They're not backing out, and they're not sparing anything. I don't blame the church for not coordinating their efforts, for not networking effectively. There has not been regular training and seminars and enlightenment for the top church leaders. The reason, because we all got carried away with what we have seen in the name of success in ministry and what we know and the positions we carry. That we have stopped being humble and simple to sit down and learn from one another. In 1990, the Lord sent me to South Korea and Japan And Young Gicho asked me to participate in the board meetings of the church growth movement. And I saw who is who in the whole world in terms of Christianity. The greatest names and the biggest churches. I didn't see one man from Nigeria, except one businessman from Lagos who came to buy safes. He deals on these safes that banks use. He buys them from Korea and ships them to Lagos. That's the only Nigeria, the only African I saw. That was the only African I saw. So why these people all over the world, you read their books, you watch on television, meet to discuss, to network, they keep learning until they die. Our people get to where they stagnate, where they cannot come to meeting except they have to speak, and they don't get anything more. So you have this connection. Yes, that's a kingdom above. You have a disconnection between the prophetic and apostolic and the media houses. You have it, so you don't have voices of the church in the media. You don't have them in the military. You don't have them speaking up in the immigration. You don't have them speaking up in the banking world. You don't have them speaking up in government houses. The church cannot cohesively function. And that's why those who go to government houses and those who play politics go to Okija Shrine. And when you have meetings like this, they won't show up. Because their mandate didn't come from their church. Their mandate came from Okija Shrine, from Satan. Though the church have the crowd, but they have leadership that are blind and uncoordinated. And so the ones that stumble into politics have no regard for an uncoordinated set of citizens. But I pray God is beginning to raise some voices that are beginning to really think and glean from the wisdom of God to share. And my passion is that our church leaders would see that even when efforts are made to bring them to meetings, by giving them functions to play so that at least they will be there, they will only rush in and rush out. So people have to listen to them. They will not listen to anybody. I'm crying out loud. Some of you who are here today, God will bless you and give you big ministries. That he gave you a crowd does not mean you have reached heaven. And that does not mean you don't need to be taught again. In the spiritual journey, we learn every day. That was why God will not give Moses and his people manna for the whole of the journey. They have to come to him every morning to collect fresh manna. He said to Joshua, you will have good success only on one condition, that this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. You meditate on it day and night. And so there is a place for morning and evening meditation on this word for you to have good success. It doesn't matter the titles we carry. Those things were given to us by our church denominations. Heaven may not have any idea about them. They know you by your first and last name. Please make out time to go for meetings that will help your life. It's not so much of what you do or the office you occupy, but so much of who you are before him. The content of your life, the character of your life, the values of your life, that are the things that are important to God. When he selected King David, He said, I have seen a man after my heart. When he rejected Saul, he said, when you were small in your eyes, didn't I take you and made you captain of my people? It was the state of your heart that qualified you to be king. It's not your skill. It's not your height. It's not your political connection. And as you look at me tonight, consider that it's not what things you do, it is who you are. If you have clean hands, you have pure heart, you have tender heart, you have a spirit-saturated life, and you fear and reverence God, and you seek to do righteousness and justice, that's the kind of person God is looking for. Whether it's in politics, or in church work, or in civil service, that's what we're talking about. Otherwise, you join the bandwagons of who do politics by killing others, by causing village wars and ethnic trouble, and state against a state, local government against a local government, because they want to be rulers. They want to make money. They want to make fame. But those people are not serving God. They're serving themselves and the devil. God is looking for upright people. And when you have them, the people rejoice. There'll be peace in the land. We will find ourselves where we find ourselves in this country. Your economy will grow. Your educational standard will grow. There will be no gimmicks about education, removing history, removing things that tell us who we are and where we are coming from, to give a confused story of who we are, to deny our children the true history of where they come from. Maybe you are here, and tomorrow God will make you the governor of Enugu State. Remember that it's not the office, but who you are, and what kind of relationship you have with God. Sometimes I sit down and I think about all the governors in the Southeast, and the burden of the Lord comes upon my heart. What if they knew God and walked with God and respected Him? What if they were like David, who walks into the house of the Lord on a regular basis, loved worship, hated injustice, but loved righteousness and justice? What if they loved themselves? I have thought about this road from Oka to Enugu. It's a regional road that affects mainly those of you in Enugu and those of us from the east. What stops the governors from this area coming around and saying, nah, it is not those in Abuja that need that road. Let's go fix it. Send them the bill. If they choose to do that, they will do it in 1 month. I know what I'm talking about. Comfortably. But there's this heart that needs to be submitted to God, for God to refine it and redeem it so He can use it. So if you are coming from Enugu, you have to go all the corner, and then go to 4 corners, or land yourself somewhere. For how long will these things be like this?